On the 31st of July 2017, I was sat in George Square in Edinburgh in the Assembly Gardens, and I turned to the people around me and I said to them, you know what, I am not a cool person. And it was great. I accepted it. I was 25 years old and I just thought, I'm not cool. I like things that are unconventional. I would honestly much rather sit and watch Star Wars like end to end than go out and do exciting things. That's just who I am. And it's with this in mind that I actually want to attempt to write this month a cool song. Yeah, that's right, I'm going to write a cool piece of music. And obviously what I mean by this is I'm going to try and write something that's on trend, something that's popular at the moment. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do. Because, truth be told, I have no idea what's going on in modern music. So that'll be interesting in itself. But I think the most important thing is that I stay true to myself. This is going to be such an interesting journey, guys, you know. Maybe I'll discover I'm cooler than I actually think I am. Although that is incredibly unlikely at this point. And honestly, you know what the best part of this is? It's genuinely not even like slightly sunny out here today. So this is just entirely for effect. So I've decided that I want the main focus of this song to be the rhythm section and the sort of groove of the overall track. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I haven't really focused on this kind of thing before. And I recently watched a video with Questlove, the drummer, and he was talking through his sort of playing style. And he did this really cool thing where he played a straight beat that sounded a little bit like this. You hear that in a lot of tracks, sort of just pushing along. But basically what he did is he started to move the bass drum and the snare drum slightly out, slightly further behind the beat, which some people call dragging, I believe. Anyone who's seen Whiplash will understand the concept of rushing or dragging. But dragging tends to create this sort of nice, relaxed feel. It's used in so many different things. But this is what it sounds like when you have the same beat, but you push the bass and the snare slightly behind. And obviously you can push that to some extremes, but I don't really want to do that because even that slightly disconcerts me. So what I've added on top of that is like a pentatonic bass groove, and again I've played that in slightly more relaxed. It's not dead on the beat and it kind of syncs up with it quite nicely. You know, it sounds quite cool. It's got a bit of a John Mayery vibe to it at the moment. Big fan of his work, obviously. And the good thing about this sort of thing is that actually you could play something on top of it that was in time and it kind of gels together. So, for example, a bit of guitar, like this sort of thing, which I've just sort of played on top, which actually is in time. Because I'll be honest, that sends me crazy, because why isn't everything in time? But this was all about breaking new ground and trying to find cool things to do. And arguably this does sound cool. At least I think it sounds cool anyway. So, yeah, let's work with this as a framework. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll work. I say that a lot, don't I? Who knows? Maybe it'll work. I should have more confidence in that. I've got absolutely no idea what this song is actually going to be about. But it is going to have a nice groove to it by the sound of things. So everyone else is watching Poldark, which obviously doesn't really interest me, I'll be honest. So it gives me a good opportunity to actually write the letter for the song, i.e. about the lyrical content. And I've decided this time that I want it to be sort of like quite optimistic, and that sounds really vague. But yeah, that seems to be quite a trendy thing, just writing about something like, you know, you've got this, you know, you can handle this situation, you can get through this day. That seems to be a theme. And with summer approaching, could have a bit of a summery vibe to it. But yeah, I figured just the theme would be everything's okay, and that's great. So yeah, I'm going to write a letter for that on the old typewriter, and then hopefully sort of sit on that for the next couple of days, and then, yeah, keep working on the track in the background. So today is Lizzie's 20th birthday and we're having a bit of a celebration with the family, and I figured rather than actually having songwriting content here, I'd just show you a really nice montage of the things that happened during the day. So, take it away. Well, good morning. It's a beautiful morning. We're all feeling a bit worse for wear because we really enjoyed ourselves last night. So there have been some cooked breakfasts had and cups of tea, and we're now all ready to face the day, whatever that really means. So yeah, I'm going to develop the song a bit further today, but I have got some other errands to run. Nothing else to really say at this point, to be honest. Just, you know, surviving. That's interesting. At what point did Justin Bieber become cool? Was it
when he released Purpose, I would say.
Purpose? What's Purpose?
That was the name of his album with, you know, with all of those songs on it.
Oh right, okay. I thought Purpose was the name of the song.
It was also the name of that album.
I am so out of touch with modern pop music. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
so Purpose had Love Yourself and...
Yeah, it had Love Yourself.
Don't tell me. I know the names of the songs. I definitely do.
Well, I'm trying to remember for myself as well. It had the one he did with Tiesto and Skrillex.
Oh yeah.
Was Cold Water on there?
I don't know.
With Major Lazer?
I think it might have been.
I'm entirely leaning on the Out of the Blue repertoire to remember this.
No, I know, yeah. Well, that's when it came out while I was in Out of the Blue. It was, you know, that one with Tiesto and Skrillex, and I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's kind of ringing a
bell. Remember, it was Where Are You Now?
Where Are You Now?
So
okay.
that was on it.
So what year was that? 2016?
It would have been 15, 16 while I was in Out of the Blue.
Yeah.
And that was when I started to like Justin Bieber. I hated him before then because it was starting to get cool and edgy for people not to like Justin Bieber.
No, sure.
No, that's okay.
You always do that. He's
good at that,
You're a serial seatbelt treader,
you do that often, don't you? Be aware of your feet.
Just be more aware. That's all we ask.
Be aware.
There was another song. What's the one that goes?
It's Sorry.
Sorry.
Is it too late now to say
That was not sorry.
Cause I'm
about to be a burden. Yeah, okay.
Stop.
I think when Love Yourself came out, I really wanted to dislike it because of how simple it was.
Yeah.
Well, and also because it was him. Yeah, you're right. No, the two things go hand in hand.
I really wanted to dislike the whole thing. But we sang Love Yourself, and it was probably my favourite song to perform.
Yeah. What do you think makes Despacito a cool song then?
It's Spanish.
Oh, outside, you reckon I should try and put some Spanish in this song?
Justin Bieber's in it as well.
100% not going to do that.
Aww.
Get Justin Bieber.
Get me on as a featured artist to do it as Spanish rap.
That would be terrible. I actually can't think of anything worse
It
right
would be
now.
terrible. So we were talking earlier in the car about sort of simplicity, and that is sort of still a trend in pop music at the moment from what I've been listening to, but only in the sort of roots of the chords. And I mean that in the way that actually, you know, most of the time, you know, this sort of progression that you hear loads of people joking about all the time does appear, but what seems to be quite trendy at the moment is extending the chords to make them slightly more interesting. So for example, if we just take this this B, this delightful B, and we sort of play it in such a way that it becomes a B11, you know, or a over B, if anyone wants to call it that. It's sort of just, you know, we still firmly got that kind of root going on. In fact, there was one of my songs that I used it in, because that's just A to B in E major. So, you know, just a little bit more sort of colour, a bit more interesting things. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some simple chord sequences for this and then extend them, just add notes on top, 9th, 11th, 13th, etc. And hopefully that will give me something that sounds cool, you know? Tim, let's have a conversation, you and I.
Hello, Geoff.
Hello. You seem to be dressed for summer.
Almost as if that's the season in which we're in.
Are we actually?
Yes.
There we are.
June.
Good. Yeah, very much June. So yeah, shorts are out and so is the DS, you know? What are you playing at the moment?
At the moment I'm playing nothing at all.
I mean, what game is in it? What games are you playing at the moment? Oh, I'm not playing a game, I'm having a conversation with you, actually. Oh, that is not focusing at all. Just give me a sec.
I discovered...
No, come on, camera.
...that I just looked at the Hall of Fame and I beat the Elite Four in 2008 on this game, yeah. And the names on this one are less funny than the names on my later one.
What, so you named all of your Pokemon?
Yeah, well, most of them.
Interesting. Do you think you're a cool person, Tim? It's not a loaded question. Would you describe yourself as being cool?
No, I don't think I would. I think I'm cool, but I know objectively that I am not.
What do you think makes a cool person? Not that.
Yeah, like, the antithesis of me, I think. Just observe every decision I make, however small, and do the other. Yeah, okay. The feeling's mutual, mate, to be honest. Well, you agree with me?
Yeah, well, no. Well, no. Yeah. Let's just go with that. Yeah. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
So, I've got a basic chord sequence down now, some really sort of simple chords, little chord progressions that I'm sure most of you will have heard before in songs. Try to pick up on things that are quite trendy now. I can't stop using the word trendy. What is that? That is just the least cool word to use in this circumstance, isn't it? But yes, my intention is to leave these sort of simple chord sequences overnight and then sort of extend them and sort of make them sound more interesting as we go on. So it's a little bit like what I did before with whatever song that was. What was that? At some point in this project before, I have definitely done something simple and then made it more interesting later on. Was it Notes to Self? Possibly. But yes, just going to let it stew and make it more complicated later on. And I think that'll do for today, actually. I'm quite tired. I'm tempted to sort of spend some time in the garden because it's quite a nice evening out there, I'll be honest. And yeah, just sort of chill out. So yeah, onwards to day 4. So good morning, got a fair amount to do today. I think I'm going to work on some of the sort of lyrical aspects of the song, as well as extending those chords that I wrote out yesterday. Got a few errands to run today as well, so hopefully some banter will occur. You join us in another kitchen segment, but Lizzie doesn't want to be in it, she's there, so you can hear her voice, but you can't see it.
Can you?
Well, now you can, yeah, absolutely. A little bit of a detour, because this is what I'm having for lunch. We've got just some tomatoes, which I'm going to chop up now on this board that you can't see.
To moot.
Yeah, absolute beaut to moot. And,
Excuse me.
and a bowl of mozzarella. Yeah, I'll talk you through what I'm doing as I'm going along. She's in the background, there we go. So we got some tomatoes of the variety called San Marzano. There we are. So we're just chopping them in half now, quite long tomatoes.
Oh, you're doing it the wrong half.
I don't know, I think that's pretty...
No.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to eat it, so does it matter?
Yeah.
Then we're going to sort of get the mozzarella, and usually I like to just tear this. So that's what I'm going to do. Tear it in, like that. Some, you know, pieces like that.
I think we can go back to having one of these, because
recycling update.
But when people empty things,
yeah,
as long as we're careful, we'll take out the glass. That's what will get done for the glass. Your glass is in the
Alright. Dad, can I ask you a technical question at this point?
Yep.
Do you ever think you've been a cool person?
Never. Never ever. I've never ever been cool. I've aspired to be cool.
Play violin.
Tried to do my hair in certain ways.
Alright, everyone come in.
You can. You want to take
Can I use your label maker?
Use your label maker. Quite.
Cool, I mean.
There we are.
Please pass me a spoonage, please.
Absolutely, what kind of spoon would you like?
This is quite a big one. Yeah, sure. That's big. And a knife.
What kind of knife? Cutting knife or a...
Just whatever you want.
Like that?
That'd be lovely.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I've just torn up the mozzarella and I've sort of put it in there with the tomatoes. Now what I'm going to do next is just get a bit of this olive oil. Oh, hello again. Yeah.
Never been cool.
Never been cool. Good. just want to reiterate
Just
that.
to repeat.
You've been
Try,
cool.
but never.
You have to have an element of cool to have children like us. It's true.
Well, once you start copying other people, you know what we're cool like. The real cool people start off with a total originality.
Emotional.
There we are. Bit of salt now.
Could never be cool.
What? Because I copy other
Original,
people?
Yeah, you copy.
This is an original idea. No one's ever put tomato and mozzarella together before.
Green jelly.
Bit of pepper there, straight from the mill. And then the secret ingredient is this balsamic goo. I'll just put that close to the camera like Zoella does. Will it do it? Who knows? No, it won't.
Behind it, that's what's
Is that what you have to do? You have to put your hand behind it. Look at that. Wonderful, yeah, it's like a balsamic cream. That's what it says. Creamer. There we are. What we do is just going to gently drizzle that, aren't we?
Fromage.
Fromage, yeah, thank you. Cup of tea.
That's so
Apparently
cool.
I'd rather be scything with pole dark.
So cool.
Just drizzle that over. And you know what, kids, I think that looks great. I'm going to get some really nice footage of that now to show you what that looks like. So when it comes to being authentic in this project, it's quite tricky because at first I thought, oh well, if I push into a new genre, is that not me? But as I'm putting this track together, I can still hear myself in it. It's not going to be like Phil Collins a few years ago when he turned up and he said, oh, I'm going to put together this album in a genre that has always been really, really close to my heart. And you're like, well, what is it, Phil? Tell us. It's like, oh, I'm going to put together a Motown album. You're like, come on, Phil, you're in Genesis. You know, you wrote Tarzan. It's just like, what does that mean? Literally, Motown was the only genre I thought would not come out of his mouth at that point, but it did. So yeah, it's not like that. I feel like I'm actually just experimenting with stuff and sounds and textures and things like that that I haven't come across before. Really, the bare bones of this are very me. The chords are chords that I would use. The lyrics are working with themes that I've worked with before. It's just what it's made up of that's cool, if you like. Maybe I am cooler than I thought, he says, clutching his Back to the Future mug. What do you think? It's quite nice, isn't it?
Loads of telescopes with sun shelters, so I looked through.
Oh.